Hi guys, I'm DJ Blighty, welcome to my channel, and today's video, how to master your DJ mix like a pro. We'll get into that right after the intro.
Who the hell are you?
DJ Blighty.
Right, let's get into it. So firstly, I want to apologise to anyone who is here from my how to record a DJ mix video from over a year ago. I just want to apologise for taking so long to bring this video to you. The comments, literally so many of you asked for a mastering video and I've been putting it off for so long. Finally, it's here for you. So yeah, let's get into it. This is going to be an explanation as well as a demonstration, so I'm going to go on to the Mac and show you my process, because I know a lot of you have heard my mixes on Mixcloud. The goal being for it to sound as professional and as close to the original track as possible. So the first thing we need to clear up is the fact that the tracks you use in your mix have to be good quality. So if you're using YouTube rips or anything that's less than 192 kbps on MP3, it's not going to sound great anyway. The old British saying, you can't polish a turd, couldn't be more apparent here, because if you're trying to make something sound good that originally wasn't good, no matter how much tweaking and everything, you're not going to make it sound good. So that is the key. Before anything, make sure all of your MP3s are at least 192, ideally 320 or even WAV, so you've got lossless audio. Once you've got that established, the next thing, which I did touch on in my previous how to record a DJ mix video, is the fact that you must ensure that you record your DJ mix at a low level. I'll show you exactly how low when I go into the mastering process on my screen, but it is important because you can bring volume up. You can't, if it's clipped and it's gone past 0 dB, you can't bring it back down. There's no rescuing it once that has happened. So the software we're going to be using today is called Audacity. The reason I'm showing you on this software is because it's available for free on both Windows and Mac, so it's open to all users. There's plenty of programs you can use to master your mixes. To name a few, you can use Adobe Audition, you can use any digital audio workstation, so you can use Ableton, Logic Pro X, all of those can do this job, but Audacity is really what I use. It's simple and it's free, so as I said, you don't have to pay for it if you want to check it out. It's easy to access just by googling it, just download it for your system and you're away to go. So I'm going to jump over to my laptop screen now and we'll go into the process. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and grab Audacity. So if you haven't got it already, you can download it. Just Google Audacity and you'll be able to download it for free for Windows or Mac. And then once you've got it, we're going to go ahead, open it up. It should look a little something like this if you get the latest version. Then we're going to go and grab our mix. So I've just put a short one here, just so I can demonstrate to you and everything processes nice and quickly. So if you haven't already done so, please go and check my how to record a DJ mix video where I run through all the settings and show you basically how to do that. But the two important factors that we need to recap on are the fact that we need to record in high quality audio, a lossless format such as WAV like I have here, or an AIFF file. That means that we can make adjustments without affecting the quality when it compresses to MP3. So it should be quite a large file, and you need to record in a low volume. So if you just run it back once you've loaded it, you should be able to look on the dB meter. So yeah, I'm peaking at like -14, which is great. So the first thing we do is we're going to trim the intro and outro of the mix down. So ideally I leave a lead in of about 0.5 seconds. So all you do is literally just click, drag across with your mouse, go to edit, clip boundaries, split, and Command X to delete it, or you can do it through the options up here. So then it literally goes straight in. Then we're going to do a similar thing at the end of the mix, but what we're going to do, because this isn't actually a finished mix, this is just a portion of a mix that I've just trimmed down to demonstrate to you. I'm going to try and find a way to fade out of this mix nicely. Okay, so I'm going to look for an echo on this one, I think. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to select this little end sound here, go to effects, echo. You can preview here. That's a bit fast, so I'm going to take that down to half. And I've just remembered you need to expand how far the echo you want it to go, so not just the sound, so it'll tail off nicely. Let's just preview that before we apply it. 0.5 again. That'll do nicely. Not quite long enough. Trying to show you how to master like a pro, and I'm acting like an amateur. It's not on, is it? Right, let's take that a bit further and apply that again. Okay, so that should fade out nicely. Okay, so we're going to trim this down now in size so it pretty much fades to nothing, and then we're going to select from the sound, again to effect, and fade out. Okay, so usually if you listen to my DJ mixes, you'll know that I have my tag at the end, so that's something I will show you quickly. Let me just grab my Mixcloud drop. Serato drops, Mixcloud, and then what I'll do is I'll reduce the volume of this right down so then I can adjust that later. Select it, Command X, then we'll put the cursor over to the end, Command V, and that puts it roughly where it needs to be, and then you literally change the tool to this one, which allows you to drag, and then we can press this one to check it. A bit loud, but then we're going to be bringing the volume of this one up. Let's have a look. So about there. There we are. Perfect. So yeah, if you don't record your drops while you're doing your mixes live and you want to do them, you can literally do this at any point in the mix, but the important thing is to make sure that the volume matches the actual mix, so they're not too loud or too quiet, but it's just a case of using your ears more than the graphic equalizer up here. So let's get into the nitty gritty, probably the reason you're watching this video and what you want to know. So what we're going to do, we know that we're around minus 14 dB at the moment. We're not going to touch this at all. We're going to leave that at 0, and we're going to leave the pan in the center. We're going to use this tool to select the entire channel, so the whole mix. Then we're going to go to Effect, and we're going to select Normalize. We're going to normalize to 0.0 initially. That should take us right up. And what you'll see here is I've got loads of peaks on the screen, so that one is really what's taking or driving this one up to a high level. See it clipped up there, so it's probably a filter. When you use the filters on the mixer, that usually causes peaks like that. So that brings us on to the next step, which is to use the multi-band compressor. So we go all the way down here, and you'll see the settings that I've used, which have a nice roll off at about minus 20 dB and go up to about, what would we say that is, about minus 4. So we're going to apply that. I'll process quite quickly. Something to note as well, when I said about my mix being about minus 14 dB, you need to make sure your mix is never above minus 6 dB, because that gives you plenty of headroom to actually master the mix as a whole then. Okay, you can see we've still got a couple of little peaks here, so what we're going to do is go in and sort that one out before we go into the rest of the track. So we're going to select that little section just by highlighting it, We're going to go down to limiter here. Oh, wrong one. Limiter. Hard limit. Settings 0, 0, hold 10. Apply makeup gain no. We're going to limit this to about where we think it is at the moment. So let's try 6, see if that does anything. That's taken a tiny bit off, so we'll go 1 more dB. So this is really about cleaning and polishing. That'll do nicely. That puts it where it needs to be. There's a couple more, so we'll just do those quickly. Same process down to limiter. Yeah, it's all about polishing. That was a bit too much on that one. Polishing your mix, so it's all at like pretty much a consistent sound level throughout. If you've ever listened to any of my mixes, you'll notice that they never distort, and most of the time they sound quite clean. So I'll do that one -6, that's better. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're gonna select all again, and then we're going to normalize, but this time we're only going to go up to -1. I'll go into that towards the end of the video, why we're doing that. So once we've normalized, we're then going to go back to this limiter, and what we're going to do, we could do this more dramatically, but I like to do it really gradually, so it takes a bit of time. So we've normalized to -1 dB, and what we want to do now is go down in 1 decibel increments. So we're going to go to -2 on the hard limit and apply that, and you'll see the peaks start to get shaved off. There we go. Then we're going to normalize again to 0.1, and we're just going to repeat this process until it looks pretty much flat, but we don't want it too flat, because by shaving all the peaks off you're going to risk distortion. You'll see that in actual tracks when they're mastered, like some of them are mastered really loudly, but with mixes, because you've got different songs and different things going on, you don't want to take it that far, because it's not an original recording, it's a replication of a recording. So essentially you're going from, most of the time, MP3 into a high quality WAV or AIFF lossless format, and then you're going to go and compress again. So you don't want to take it too far, just give yourself a little bit of room to avoid distortion. It took me a long time to actually get to what I'm doing now, to be honest. I used to have pretty shit sounding mixes back in the day, even ones with distortion. So we just keep repeating this process until it looks something like this. I think I'm going to push that just one more time. If it's too much, you can always reverse the steps and go back. Let's have a look. Okay, if we zoom in, we can see exactly how flat these peaks are. That should be okay, actually. So I usually load another mix. I won't do it now because it'll take too long. But I usually load another mix just to compare the wave, just to make sure it's similar. So now we're going to normalize to -1 dB, and that is pretty much the final step. Yeah, that's a bit too flat for me, actually. That's flatter than I would normally go. So I'm just going to undo that last step and leave it like this. Okay, so we're peaking now by normalizing to -1 dB, meaning that nothing in this mix will go over 1 dB. Now I'll explain why. There we go. Why that's so important, and that is because when you compress this to export it now, I'll start doing that while I'm talking. So what we do is go to File, Export. Oh, actually missed a step there. Let me just check the volume of this drop at the end. Tiny bit quiet now, so we're going to bring that up to about -7. Perfect. Okay, and I forgot to take this bit off the end, being sloppy. There we go, just X that off. Okay, so File, Export, export as MP3, and then we're going to make sure it's at the highest, which is 320 kbps. Whatever you want to call your mix in here. Save. OK. Any tags. OK, and then it's exported, and then it'll go to wherever you've put the file. But the important thing we need to do there with the -1 dB is know that when we upload this to a streaming service, so whether it's Mixcloud or YouTube, SoundCloud, or wherever else, that they're going to use compression their end. So by leaving that 1 dB headroom, it means if any of the compression that they have their end, it won't distort the sound too much, and you've got room for movement, because they won't go crazy with it. They won't be like 6 dB compression or anything. But yeah, that 1 dB of headroom always gives you space when you're compressing down to MP3 when we just exported, and when you upload to streaming services. So that is pretty much job done. So yeah, that's my process, how I use Audacity to master every single one of my mixes. If if you've got any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer you. If you've got any requests for future videos, please feel free to ask, and I will do my best to supply that to you. So I hope today's been useful and you've taken a lot of info away from it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again on the next one real soon. Peace.